You, Germain Lussier, io9. Mr. Trachtenberg, how you doing, sir?
I am good. Good to be here.
Yeah, good to be here with your big Predator movie. Loved it, of course. I'd like to watch the credits to see what I can find in there. I noticed you thanked James Cameron in there. So he's in New Zealand, where you shot, making a small, alien type Disney movie.
Right.
What prompted you to thank him, and what kind of those conversations were?
So I was consider myself very lucky, and that the fact that we were making movies at the same company, I think inspired him, and we collaborate with the same executives. And he saw Prey and loved it. And so when we were heading down to New Zealand to shoot, he invited me down to Wellington and hang out on set and in his edit bay. And I divulged all my anxiety about making this movie and Badlands and the methodology that we were doing that was going to be very new for the franchise and certainly very new to me. And then we reconvened for dinner. And we drove separately, and when he sat down, he said, "I was thinking about what you're doing on the way over here, and I think it's gonna work." And like that was insane, and put so much wind in my sails to bring back up to Auckland and tell the whole crew. And then just a few months ago, we had to cut the movie that was almost done, not quite. And I wanted to get his input before we put the finishing touches on. And he wrote a note back that said, I have to be honest, when I first heard about what you were doing, I didn't think it was going to work, but holy crap, it really worked. It was like, I don't know if he didn't remember the first thing, or if he really just knows exactly what someone in my shoes needs to hear when they hear it.
Yeah.
So it just was amazing. And yeah.
Yeah, I think his reaction is the reaction a lot of people are going to have. They're going to love the movie. They're going to love the direction you've taken. But curiously, do you think, because now we're going to Love Deck and we know a little bit more about the Yautja, do you think that will change what you think about Yautja in previous movies or other movies? Or did you guys think about that, consider that?
I mean, Deck isn't the only Yautja character that you meet in the movie. Right. And what you learn from this movie and also from Killer of Killers is there's so much variety in the culture and the species, and I think Deck comes from a particularly brutal clan, but I don't know that all of them have experienced what Deck would have experienced, and you can either decide in your own fan imagination whether or not the predators from previous films feel the way that Deck feels about things, or do they feel the way Quay or Father feels about things?
Okay.
Yeah.
You talk about fandom. I'm a Predator, but also an Alien fan, so I love seeing the Weyland-Yutani in there. Weyland-Yutani is very bad at their job, right? Because we know that they had creatures in Alien Earth.
Yeah.
They lose them. They're still looking at Alien. They're still looking at Aliens.
Yeah.
They're still looking at Alien 3. And in Badlands, whenever this takes place later, they're still looking for creatures. So is that something you guys consciously are looking? Is that kind of a through line in these franchises that Weyland-Yutani has to be always fail?
I mean, it certainly isn't far-fetched to think of a mega corporation that constantly is disappointing in what their goals may be. I think we all can connect to that. I definitely wasn't consciously thinking I need to continue the story of Weyland-Yutani being a bunch of bumbling morons, but rather the opposite. We tried to show different kinds of synths that they would manufacture, and I think a little bit smarter this time around when they're exploring a planet to just send the synths in first before you colonize or send any humans in there. So hopefully Badlands says that maybe Weyland-Yutani is a little bit more intelligent than previous entries.
It took hundreds or whatever kind of years. Love the music in this movie, but didn't hear any of the Silvestri theme. Talk about the decision to kind of keep that out.
Well, I also love the movie and was so thrilled to work with Sarah Schachner and Ben Wallfish, this time combining forces, two composers that I worked with previously. And two things. One was we had done a riff on the Silvestri theme in Prey, and then in Killer of Killers, in all four instances, we do crazy riffs, and I just felt like we have riffed till the end of Rift. And there's something I really wanted to find something special for the sound of the Yautja culture, and felt like this movie needed its own identity and its own iconic themes, and I'm certain that after we go a period of time without the Sylvester theme, what will be so exciting is when we bring it back again. So that's sort of what fueled that decision.
Gotcha. Can't talk spoilers here, but I want to talk spoilers. Previous films, Naru shows up at the end of Killer of Killers, along with some others. When was that decision made to be like, oh, because I can assume when you finish Prey, you're not like, oh, let's bring her back at the end of the animated movie I'm working on. When did that decision come to be like, this is the next instance of her story?
It actually probably came from dreaming up what we would do next, and had these ideas for Badlands and for Killer of Killers, and even for a third movie. And part of the fun of thinking of the ending for Killer of Killers, and the thing that unlocked it, was that fourth act. And I think very shortly after that was, oh my gosh, and then we could reveal Nadu there on ice. Yeah.
So again, keeping things vague, how much of an idea do you have of where characters who may be alive or at the end of this film may show up, assuming you get a chance to return?
I have a pretty good idea of where things could go, but at the same time have been trying hard to not like make decisions based on that, because truly you kind of, as you know, got to make one damn good movie at a time. So was really trying very hard to just like make sure I'm not like hurting this movie by thinking of where things could go next, and ensuring that this is a great movie, and should we do anything else, I will think about it the exact same way.
I know that you understand the insane amazingness that is that you're making Predator movies, right? But now you've made 3 in a row, and I want to see another one, and so fans will. Do you have it in you to make another one, or do you want to take a break, or what do you think? What do you like in your mind?
I didn't think I had it in me to make 2 more after Prey.
Right.
I think, and the only reason why I really went after them is because we had these ideas that were cool ideas for a movie, separate from even being a Predator movie. There was something in them that were kinds of movies I'd wanted to make anyway. Yeah. 4 of them in Killer of Killers,
Yeah.
So that's why I've been sticking around and would continue to stick around, is because it's given me the opportunity to tell actually surprisingly fresh and original stories, and the Predator being someone that's searching for the most worthy prey, just happens to be a great fulcrum for emotional storytelling that also has a bunch of kick-ass action.
Right.
Yeah.
That's my time, sir.
Okay.
It was great to see you, man.
Awesome, buddy.
I will see you later tonight.